Приветствую всех любителей интересного геймплея. Продолжаем с вами осваивать диско Elysium. Как там распутывать клубки этого замечательного мира. Так что дверь забита досками. К тому же ее засыпало так, что до нее теперь не добраться. Ну, с другой стороны, наверное, можно будет как-нибудь зайти. Так, что тут? Что-то желтенькое, диалог какой-то желтый.
Scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Дырки от пуль. Визуальный анализ рискованно. Почему их так много? Дырки от пуль на площади, дырки от пуль на заднем дворе. Знаешь о революции. Ким, погляди, еще дырки от пуль. Тут определенно что-то произошло. Да, мы с вами перебрались через мостик. Теперь находимся на другом побережье. Собственно, давайте визуализировать.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement.
И мы тут стоим, прямо между.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Вот такая вот замечательная история.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling
Ну все, мы
wall.
возвращаемся
With
туда.
another 7 shades, a cold sea.
Ну окей. Надпись Интердайте. Что-то такое, короче. Что-то написано. Что-то проход запрещен, наверное. Бам-бам. Много денежек. Да, кстати, мы нашли с вами второе место для ночевки. И оно вроде как абсолютно совершенно бесплатное. Старая будка билетера не работает. Теперь все эти деньги принадлежат нам, собственно. Не стоит думать о том, куда их потратить. В тени стоит беседка, покрыта что-то там, блин. Нажал и забыл, что нажал. Теперь да, все денежки наши. Наспуск сколоченный сарай для лодок. Будь морской бриз чуть-чуть там. Что-то там бы произошло. Отдалять камеру начали на 20%. Дальше калибристика плюс. Визуальный анализ минус. Большие темные очки, суперзвезда. Интересно. Лодка в сарае нет. Лодки в сарае нет. Еще монеточки. Так, вот здесь мы пробегали в тот раз. Ничего не посмотрели. Пошли наверх. Отец с дочкой, с ребенком, с мальчиком.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
Стоит рядом с сыном и указывает на видавшие вид руины. Он видит себя и улыбается.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Khan Hailostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Нифига себе, он знает Кима. Ким суперзвезда
Nice
здесь.
to meet you.
Погодите-ка, гипертекст. Вы с Кимом знакомы?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Ken, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
Руку на плечо мальчика. Ребенок прячется за полой пальто своего отца, крепко сжимая в руках книжку-раскраску о вюрмах.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into verbs lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
Поднимает руку к глазам. Весеннее солнце согревает его красивое лицо. Вы вчетвером поворачиваетесь, чтобы оценить мурал на стене.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on, what's R&D?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
Bookhead.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet. Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Pleasure wheel. Колесо наслаждения, колесо обозрения, он говорит. Лейтенант задумчиво смотрит на горизонт, будто перед его мысленным взором в небо поднимаются кабинки. Pleasure wheel.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers... They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Это мы уже
Yes.
слышали.
To lure in their star and actually no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Buckle up.
Ну, понеслась.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait. Did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07. Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Felt Playback Experience, but those are incorrect. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building. But of course, what else?
Зачем нам еще говорить про этот здание Фельд? Так, будто у вас водятся деньги. Есть у вас
I do
деньги?
have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Вообще не... Может, тогда дадите и мне немного этих неважных денег? Деньги. Я просто хотел проверить, насколько хорошо разбираюсь в людях. Нет,
Oh
давай
no,
деньги.
I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
Рука крепко сжимает плечо сына.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
Ну, большие деньги меня, в принципе-то, не сильно интересуют. Можешь мне пару монет закинуть? Мне кто-то и 1 реал давал. Кстати, вы занимаетесь спортом?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
В палочном бою?
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harli people, the name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures...
Блин, интересно, да, вот кто этот человек, когда мы будем заканчивать игру?
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Then I guess everything got said, right?
Окей, здорово, спасибо за интересную
No,
информацию.
thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Пойдемте, у нас еще дела есть. Еще один электрощиток. Сейчас ни к чему не подключен. Внутри пусто. Забор преграждает путь. Отсюда не пройти. Текс. А, нет, так. Плюс здоровье. 5,25 реалов. Мужик, ты... Даже такого у тебя с собой нет. Видишь, как я подбираюсь? А, этот щит-то мы нажали. Сейчас рядом встанем.
A once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Изучать дальше. Может быть, мы еще вернемся с ним поговорить. Высокие пыльные окна забраны решеткой. Забраны. Так, что там? О, на крышу можно попасть. Быстрое перемещение открытой церкви. Да, кстати, какие-то быстрые перемещения стали доступны. Кто-то приложил немало усилий, чтобы разрушить этот пластмассовый купол.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Случайный номер.
Calling. Still calling. End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
Лет 100, да, это я Пьер, возможно. Каков Пьер из себя? Нет, это не Пьер.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Кто такой Пьер?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
Нет, вместе с ним. Ничего не продаю, я просто набрал случайный номер и попал сюда. Да, хочу кое-что продать. И что же именно наделали с вашей стороны? Тут можно на политические вопросы выйти, там попытаться, может быть, опыта получить.
This is because we are bred to be leaders. I can hear the common or mixed background from your voice. I just so wanted it to be Pierre. Have a pleasant evening, prankster.
Хулиган, пранкер.
Disconnect tone.
Давайте еще раз.
Calling.
Тот же номер сейчас. 912 на конце. Не, другие. Звоню по разным номерам.
Still calling. Someone.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Супругу позовите к телефону. Позови к телефону свою жену, пожалуйста. Позовите, пожалуйста, к телефону электросигнала. Электросигнал. Блин. Жерар, что за дебильное имя? Поменяй его, поменяй себе имя.
Who is this?
Это Пьер.
Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that?
Трахает твою жену. Извините, не стоило это делать. Да пофигу, это пранк так пранк.
Just tell me what's going on here. Bien, come here.
Биан, подойди.
The sounds are muffled. You can make out two people, a man and a woman called Bien. They're talking to each other in agitated voices. There's a shuffle of feet.
Ща мы тут семью рассорим.
Amid the howling in the wire, you make out a woman's voice with a thick Samaran accent. Girard, Girard, this is a joke. Someone is making a joke. More shouting.
Ой-ой-ой.
You're pretty sure you hear a man saying fuck several times. Then the crackle in the phone line gets violently louder, like the surf breaking. You hear a faint thud. You could swear you're hearing furniture falling over.
Отойди от нее, я из полиции. Я буду дальше трахать твою жену жрать. Да не, все.
You can't make out a single word, just vague voices. One more, a child has joined. Something breaks or falls over. Footsteps approaching.
Ну что я могу сказать? Очень крепкая семейка. Может быть, и не стоило останавливаться.
Something hits the phone with a loud crack of plastic and microphone hiss. After that, you are left with the disconnect tone.
Все? Блин.
What the hell are you doing?
Проверяю семью на прочность, что я делаю. Ой, да ладно, забей, серьезно. Мужик не выдержал.
Big deal? Let's just go. I've had enough of this phone booth.
Все, больше не будем звонить. Ну, он положил трубочку. У меня есть еще второй. Сломанный телефон с такой силой швырнул трубку, что она разбилась. Кто-то напал на пранкеров здесь. Так, здесь мы бегали. Отлично. Потихонечку узнаем, что тут вообще есть и что такое. Это церковь, вибрация бочки. Музыка идет оттуда. Откуда-то со льда. В тени видны пыльные скамьи, многих не хватает. Да, тут можно зайти, да, явно церковь заброшенная. Тут можно побегать, смотри. Темнота скрывает алтарь или что-то вроде того. Слишком темно, чтобы разглядеть. Так, тут монета. 62 сантима, там как-то так. Сантиметр. Указатель Сен-Брюн, 11:47. Пошли, зайдем.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Подергай дверь, дука не открыта.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock. The carving on the door, the surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Voila! Looks very modern.
Ой, сделать свои бумаги более... Бросить конверт в почтовый ящик на площади. Так, это что? Зеркало, электрохимия. Зеркало, электрохимия? Ну, здесь не показывают зеркало. А где мы, кстати, бегаем? Мы вот так по мосту перешли, на качелях покачались. Зашли вот в эти домики, хижины рыбаков. А, вот мы сейчас у церкви. О, такие яйца я не видел. Что это интересно? А, вот, кстати, колесо обозрения. А, ну смотри, и тут уже не пройти. То есть полукругом и туда, и сюда. Может быть, когда-нибудь мы сюда доплывем. И тут финал будет. Кто его знает? Кто его знает? Рещица игральных костей. А что с ним? Трепет нужен легендарный. Оказывается. Так, зачем я сюда зашел? Да ни зачем. Я хотел посмотреть выполненные. Сделать бумаги более стильными. Смотрите в оба и не забывайте, это может занять некоторое время. Окей.
You're part of the future brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby.
Выполнено секретное задание. Я так понимаю, что секретное задание — это задание, которое ты просто не брал, а выполнил его просто по пути.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
Да не, вряд ли будет другой вход. Ну, 2D игра.
Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere east of here.
Где-то к востоку отсюда, к востоку
There's
отсюда.
something on the sea ice there.
Не в активном инвентаре инструмента. Окей, он предлагает все-таки лестницу, что ли, вот эту. Как мы тут найдем? Наверное, мы сейчас побегаем, нифига не найдем. И потом скажем, ну да, ну как бы 2D здание, как тут еще войдешь. Зато смотрите, что я нашел. Должно быть, это потребовало немало терпения. Что, черт, на улице так холодно? Ну да, ты, блин, на льду таком крепком довольно сидишь, стоишь. Ой, что такое?
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Срез открыт.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
А потом окажется, что я что-то налажал опять. Еще этнические рисунки. Этот столбик покрыт маленькими человечками. Колышек вокнутый в лед, чтобы держать палатку. Им пора перебираться, уже весна. Ну, после какой-то бесконечной вечеринки.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Слишком старый, я думал, ты моложе меня.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Вы там будете как дома. А помните, первая надпись была? Демоны, что-то там в зеркалах. Они здесь как дома. Да, и здесь как дома. Нифига себе, это в полный рост. Нифига, тут 3 пацанов. Канистр с водой, подписано дистиллирован. Палатка совершенно по-другому выглядит. Кучка спреев для носа, название марки Нозафет Ультра. Как бы круто было стать мелким пацаном опять. Да, понимаете. Колонка большая, такие используют на живых выступлениях. А это выйти? Ну, блин, даже не знаю, вот это нас приглашал. Давай с него и начнем.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
Эй, камон! Это он? Ну, смотри на фонарь, смотри на свет. Высоко над головой держит микрофон.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Объекты невидимости.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Место действительно не самое лучшее. Будьте осмотрительны в следующий раз. Вам нужна помощь.
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Говорю, о чем-то.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Reversholt.
Strike that. The world.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Сердито качать головой.
The spooky kind. You know, officer, you really should judge that for yourself. But keep in mind, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Давай.
All right, man.
Помогите Рэрам открыть ночной клуб.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Обнимаются. Обмениваются.
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Поймай ключ на лету.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Погреться в лучах славы. Сделать вид, что ничего особенного не произошло.
The speed freak nods to you.
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
На неделю заперли их там.
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Непреднамеренное убийство, да. О, блин.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Блин, реально, неделю назад заперли, а он же вроде говорил, что спинканты роются в прикрепленном мешочке, что это временное там.
Me too.
Совсем
I
временно.
shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Yes, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
one of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Non-human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Так, человек-краб
It was stalking a
появился.
cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd, crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Да, конечно.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
Да проще сюда сходить, да открыть, да посмотреть.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Good idea. Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Проценты у него хорошие.
Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo. Meteo, a country, on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by percentage.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? You're totally wrong about that.
The Pericanassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base. as if testing the waters. Feels good.
Oh yeah! It's coming around! You're getting it! Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yes. What?
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Может, дело обстоит не совсем так, как тебе рассказали? Удели минутку анализу ситуации.
Okay, so the speed freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Youths like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more when you were young, too. But you digress.
Но они сами, походу, наркоманы.
The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well.
Пока все идет хорошо, но у меня это неудача.
Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
В их истории все сходится. Так, это что, логика, но я...
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Да, блин, а вот орёт. Я бы в логику, кстати, вложился, я не против логики. Тут, оказывается, логика нужна, да? Ну, нужна, значит, нужна. Самообладание, эквилибристика, давай. Способ косвенного налогообложения. Концептуализация. Драма. Грубая сила. Логика. Стойкость. Еще есть драма. Здесь главный визуальный анализ. Сейчас оставим. Бля, капец, тут разобраться надо. Восприятие, техника. Еще логика, подожди. А, там две логики, здесь одна логика. Либристика, визуальный анализ минус, визуальный анализ плюс. Так, еще очки симпатии. Логика минус. Ни в коем случае. Да ё-моё, реально вещей уже очень много. Перчатки, перчатки, перчатки. Там, очки. Головные уборы. Так, штаны. Офигеть. Офигеть, реально. Вот логика. Техника 2, техника 1. Эти можно выкинуть, в принципе. Что за перчатки? Перчатки Fairweather Tappet. Это и есть перчатки от брони. Они прям здесь у меня. Вон они. Эти перчатки, да, я их видел где-то. Ну, на всяких. В сети, в общем. С пистолетом он именно в этих перчатках гоняет. Электрохимия. Техника, сумрак. Техника 2, окей. Подними голову. Чтобы посмотреть, что вообще у меня на голове шляпа. Здесь какая. Если ревером открыть ночной клуб.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
В полном комплекте. То есть я мог в бастинках в его гулять, а Кимбо мне ничего не сказал? Да я просто обязан собрать весь комплект. Я должен ее изучить.
Remember, the vitreous enamel material acts as a kinetic redistributor. It's meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material. A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger, I am the rearranger.
could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Вернуть тропу, по которой можно выбраться отсюда. Решите загадку Экамона.
The young man.
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? one mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
Жесть.
So
Да, с
you
ним
had
не
a talk with
поговорить.
Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Lloyd. Good.
Дыру в чересчур большом свитере спидпанка просвечивает голая кожа. Перед ним открытая коробка с плотницким инструментом.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading. A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
So I can hear you do it. Sometimes the outside gaze helps us reflect on things.
Lloyd, don't bother our guests with your games.
Piss off, Andre. Me and Mr. Cop are trying to discuss art.
You shouldn't talk like that.
Cool. The ban on foulness. That's the moralist plot to alienate us from our bodily function so they can control us more fully.
Слушай, я мог сейчас получить, да, по хпшкам, по боевому духу, или я выключу?
Anyhow, what was the sticker like? Oh wow! Right on your cop ledger. You like it? You're right. It's the harbinger of a new era. What would you like to know? Simplicity was brought to us by a classical soul artist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right? Well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. The echo of man's loss, haunting him. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. There's a gathering at the Elysium. The beat is the same for all. The dead guy's smiling. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
Or drunk, or in a clinical coma, or glad to be dead. But those versions suck. Or I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do. Nah. Still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment. You heard me. Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural. Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though. Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment. I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve sign synchronicity would be by getting us into the church.
Окей. Да, эти парни были капецки сложные. Так, Ким, не хочешь обсудить это?
Yes?
Мне нужна эмоциональная разгрузка. Так. Раскрашен мелками. Кто-то пытается сделать этот мир повеселее. А, ну это, собственно, и есть мелкие.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
She must be Estelle, the last of the speed freaks, posse. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
That's my name. I take it you have met the others. Did they tell you about the church and the club thing? Will you help us? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here. Huh? So should you.
Я в шапке.
You don't have to do anything.
Слушай, что за... У меня там какая-то это... Я постоянно говорил, ты закон. Дальний лимит всех навыков. А, вот, вершитель закона. Временный бонус за исследование, минус риторика. Странная челюсть. Странная челюсть.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises.
Авторитет вообще, авторитет минус 2. Нужен 15. 17 выбить. 3%, что я победю? Восстановить авторитет. Да не хочу.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
На ее лице появляется болезненное выражение. Теперь она ответит на твои вопросы.
Oh, that. You're not gonna believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe.
А, да там женщина... Блин, я думал, может быть, там зоологов заперли.
She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent.
Может быть, это этот... спецназовец?
He stopped right before he got to the floor. Then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Ты была не права, я верю. Ты была права, я тебе не верил. Ладно, хватит.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
The crab and the banger?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Я тебе верю.
Why?
Да просто чтобы ты не переживала, вот и все. Быть выдумкой, какая тебе польза от этой истории? Очень иногда случается.
I guess so. Anyway, what else? My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them. Me? I'm a silver bird.
Серебристая мухоловка.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Чего? Разговорить о Соль, чтобы она рассказала о своих товарищах. Цель отказывается говорить о друзьях. Может, она станет более общительной, когда вы поможете им открыть ночной клуб. Окей.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Контактный майк.
No. You're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
Man, you are one weird cop.
Это точно. Боксер. Да твали со своим боксером, серьезно. Чисто по приколу сказал, зашло куда-то очень далеко. По-моему, совершенно обычно. Теперь насчет этого Мика. Не Мика, а Мика.
You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum. Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Да, блин, похоже на место.
Yeah, there might be some. I don't think they look down on the homosexual underground there. The Palaceum's not that kind of place. It's cool.
Это крутое место.
Okay then, that's cool. Oh yeah. I guess even with your modern take on sexuality, you wouldn't be in the Van Eyck demographic. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sure. Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Take this, your call.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Блин, этот главный убор я не хочу отдавать. Какой я ей отдам?
Thanks.
Лыжная шапка фаун. Я ей отдал лыжную шапку фаун. Блин. Не хотел это отдавать. Но опыт я хотел получить. Так что спасибо, да, спасибо. Ладно, обойдусь, найду получше. Что здесь музыкальное место? Ты имел в виду то, о чем говорил Андре? Церковь?
Yeah, the boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, inside the tent.
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Didn't you see it yourself? It's mostly music stuff, like this tape recorder, but bigger. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold. Go ahead.
Дал ей шапку +1. Вот оно в чем дело. Так, 13... Ой, 3 есть, 11 осталось. Офигеть. Что там, эмпатия?
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that. Go ahead.
Давай крутанем.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath, you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
Okay, bye.
Блин, я шапку нормально отдал. О, у меня вот эта с логикой есть. Я не помню, с чем она была там. По монетку нашел. Блин, все монетки теперь в карман. Прям вообще ништяк. Все вдруг. Может, в этих столбиках спрятано сокровище. Нужно взглянуть внутрь. О, да, смотри, что-то есть. Еще 90. Подожди, в каждом? Ты чё, серьезно? Это что такое алкогольный напиток? Пилзнер крепкая. Физиология, боевой дух. Ну давай. Нифига, каким будешь? Да они вон в каждом столбе собирай. Все? Офигенно. Че, рыбешки носятся стайкой вокруг заборного столба, а затем что-то происходит. Читайте на паузе. Окей, поехали. Так, только тут сохраниться надо явно. Ты чувствуешь, как тебя накрывает тень огромного здания.
Heavy wooden door. The lock turns.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Ух ты. А где я? А, сейчас все будет. Ты смотришь вперед, и тебя наполняет странное спокойствие. Здесь нужно идти, а не бежать. За это мне уже штраф. Бегал по церкви. Тот же узор, что снаружи, зубчатая молния. Следы короедов? Нет, похоже, что специально нарисовал. Какой-то давно что-то там. Ладно, давайте пешком здесь походим. Это гротескная деревянная фигура выглядит законченной лишь наполовину. Доска заполнена сложными уравнениями. Похоже, их написали недавно. Ну, тут явно зоологи. Вот. Оборудование. То самое. Магнитофон на 2 катушки крутится в холостую. А они вышли здесь, походу. Портативный магнитофон. Херман в уши. Тебе в уши. Может быть, он что-то записывает? Может быть. Кто-то подключил внешний источник энергии к этой антенне.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds...
Good afternoon.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress Accident. Какая-то компания проклята в торговом зоне.
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brune, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still...
Блин, бегать опять хочу. Давай сюда тогда дойдем.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Это витражное окно мне говорит на колени, это не энциклопедия. Встать на колени, нет, оставь меня в покое, женщина, уйти.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate Inauthentic rule should it coincide with our time. And innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. And innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world. Many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé, also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Хочу ли я еще вариант? Блин, ну или давайте
As did we
пощелкаем.
all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supramuindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted inauthentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her terriers, the secret servicemen of the innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. Oh, she was insultingly beautiful. She was humanity's young mother, a perfect mother. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her terriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen. One of the men in this Secret Service killed her 22 years later, a young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her terriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacific, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Ефрейтор, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
Спокойный голос лейтенанта эхом отражается в холодном воздухе церкви.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Это связано с нашим делом. Быть может, светящиеся легкие, хрень какая-то. Почему люди вообще так долго терпели и не пристрелили эту буржуазную штучку раньше? Да ни о чем, просто осматриваюсь. Она прекрасна, она не человек. Крикнуть «Военная преступница!» Она
That
прекрасна.
she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however. In this church, I mean, the coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in. The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
Small Pine Wood.
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Lesetsa, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Хотя не исключено, что может найти что-то другое. В этих словах он смотрит на расставленное вокруг оборудование.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin. It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Поехали.
The
42%.
shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
Блин, я бы восстановил. Ладно. Так, у нас новая мысль.
Bringing of the law. Law
Вершитель
jaw.
закона. Законная челюсть.
Okay, so we now know why you have law jaw. Why you say the law in a weird manner. And why your jaw does that thing. You had polio as a child. You hadn't gotten vaccinated. It must have been right after the revolution. Not a lot of vaccine going around then. So you got infantile paralysis due to polio, and this jaw thing is a complication from that. Admittedly, it's not very funny, but you overcame it. This little infant survived and became a sharp-shooting super cop. So, fuck you, polio.
Бонусы, координация, лимит улучшения, успешные пассивные проверки, координация. Успешные пассивные проверки, координации. -1 риторика, все равно странная челюсть. Ох ты. Успешные пассивные проверки, координации. Это вот сейчас бы он мне ключи кидал. Хотя, может быть, и нет. Непонятно, что такое. Риторика, где она там, моя риторика? Треха нормальная, я думаю. Риторика. Ну, тут есть вообще авторитет -2. Вот это жесть. Бонус от предметов -3. Что там за предметы такие? Вот эта штучка. Не здесь. В очках авторитета нет совсем. Давайте потихоньку двигаться. Тут бабки вижу. Подожди, что это такое? Чаша с заполненной водой. Прямо в нее опущен провод, подключенный к сети. Чаша заполнена водой.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore.
Птичка летает внутри, смотри. Какаду.
Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything? I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Ой-ой-ой.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
Моргнуть.
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
О, фонарик. Да ни на что моргнуть. Все
You
нормально.
see something hanging from the rafters, looking
Ooh.
straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Вот он. Человек-краб. Ну, наверное, в самом конце, да? Сначала все соберем. А, и не будем бегать. Наверное, если мы побегаем, он начнет возмущаться. Давайте тогда сразу с ним поговорим.
Is that a man? Looks
Yeah.
more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The crab man.
Промолчать,
The
да.
man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershaw. Hold on. Stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this?
You really got a case of frayed nerves, pussy. And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Бабу Виста.
Oops.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Нет, только не это убежать.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Да мы реально не бухали, наркотики закидывались. Ну, вроде, блин, надо проверить. Вроде не пил. А, не, пил. Да, мне же было задание. Или не здесь я пил. Не помню. Может, и выпил разок.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
В этом ты прав. Это с электрохимией пообщаться?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness. This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here. Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes. No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Может, мне удастся найти какой-нибудь другой способ чего?
That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Я провожу опросы по ролях в секретных кодах. В интересах общественной безопасности, конечно. Особо тяжкого преступления. Честно говоря, я просто хочу взломать руки. Блин, ну мне вот это нравится, потому что драма, потому что мне подсказывает общественная безопасность.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
Да, стоит поработать над тем, как передвигаешься. Все, девчонка увидела... девчонка, которая на льду записывает, она увидела женщину. Женщина ей открыла церковь, дверь. А этот сзади двигался. Все она правильно увидела.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
Потереть подбородок. Вершитель закона. Бонусы от мысли. Координация. Лимит улучшения повышается. Успешной пассивной проверки. Координация. Странная челюсть. Риторика минус. Это же вершитель закона челюсть, да. Щурится, выглядит немного вторично. Либо спровоцировать его. Объективизацию женщин. А я там это феминист вроде, да, еще? Феминистская повестка, да, необъяснимая.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Удобно, да.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Вряд ли он мне руку пожмет, но было бы неплохо, конечно. А, я тоже не заморачиваюсь насчет имен. Это если я, например, до сих пор имя не выбрал. Ну попробуем руку протянуть.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. No. There's a new god in town, and she can be painted or sculpted because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
Для меня вот эти розовые проверки кумарят.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
Да, это постоянно либо электрохимия, либо трепет какой-то.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night? I can see, and it saddens me. But devotion can save you. It saved me. She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Ты повторяешься.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes, that's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
It looks like he truly doesn't remember. There's a vagueness to his sense of time.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
Wouldn't bother me none to have them spin music in here. I'm usually way up there, imbibing.
Это у меня этот прокнул, да, мысль. Спонсоры косвенного налогообложения. Первый реал есть, неплохо. Преисполняюсь. Мне это не помешает. Странно, что ему это не помешает.
Might even be nice to have some company. I think we're done here, essay.
А, все, он ушел.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Все же бегать пока не буду. Болевой порог. Шелковый шарф. Миссийского гангстера. Это его шарф. На замерзшем окне кто-то нарисовал оленя. Мороз украсил стекло цветками, и теперь ничего не видно. Это вот он резьбой занимается, да, по дереву? В некоторых местах. Вот тут, да, тоже что-то есть. Разбившаяся стеклянная панель цветная. Из витражного окна буквы тоже еще сохранились. Второй мысли нет. Окей. Паук опутал эту деревянную резную колонну своей паутины. Ну да, там есть что-то. О, ботиночки. Симпатично. Эмпатия плюс. Спасибо. Могу одеться целиком в эмпатию. Где там они? Подожди, я серьезно, где ботинки? А, вот же красный. А у меня восприятие. Где? Подожди, а где черные ботинки? +1 к этому. К сборам. К налоговым. Подожди, инструменты что-то горят. Где это? А, бутылек. Блин, одежда реально дофига уже. А, вот они, ботинки. Давай, +1. Вроде как все.
The machine's keyboard is still the speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still the speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Good. Thank you. Please repeat. Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated behind the hatch. This is the machine's filament memory. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, it arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Then why doth the lieutenant protest against spending time here so often? 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
'8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Так, нужно лишь выяснить, что вызвало потерю данных, и дело с концом. Не могу понять, как так вышло. Резервная копия стерлась, хотя даже не была подключена. Мистер Лекси... Кто все эти люди?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Мне кажется, что девчонка, которая там сидит с микрофоном на пруду.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
Это уже я приехал, судя по всему, март 51-го. Рядом с церковью появились какие-то юные дискотечники. Это дискотех. Я так понимаю, любители направления вот этого. Okay.
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
Это они дискотечники. Имеете в виду Ассель.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Спалили нас. Прямиком к радиокомпьютеру. И я в ее дневнике копаюсь.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
Мы из РГМ по одному стороннему делу представляем некоторых организаторов музыкальных мероприятий. Мы просто взламываем. Я пытаюсь раскрыть загадочную тайну, найти свою потерянную личность.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
То есть не сейчас, да? Автосохранение пошло.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Nope. Yes. And?
И что, Человек-краб видел вас?
I don't care. I don't care about crab men.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Так, чаша с
They are
водой.
connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
И все, да?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. No, I don't. Because I needed something good for my investigation, and Reims Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a Reims prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Reims prefects in every police department, for example.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade Reims Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as Reims Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain. Great. You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
2-миллиметровой прорехи в нашем мире. Охренеть.
Wait, what?
Вот-вот.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said.
Ищет нарушение радиоволн, так говорилось в ее личном журнале.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. The Swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks. What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah, like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying. do they?
Достижение получил какое-то. Мои соседи, что расположились в палатке, похоже, не планируют завязывать со своими вечеринками.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Монотонное выбивание ковра.
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. Take a guess, why don't you?
Контактный зоопарк.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Детишки меня кинули, блин. Развели и кинули. Я, кстати, тоже не бегал. Поэтому и я не буду. А вот тут у нее ключи есть, теперь у меня ключи есть. Она спокойно выходит, заходит. То есть, в принципе, ничего плохого не произошло, что детишки заперли. Где там мост? Вот. Ах вы, блин. Так, давай сначала с ней поговорим.
Hello again. It's supposed to accept that.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking. There will never, not in a million years.
Go ahead. Oh.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Okay. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. And then, you know, he stopped.
Like a crab, you say?
You saw him? Does it mean that you went in there? Did you see the other spooker, the one in Grandma's clothes? Good, so you believe me. You should go tell this to Andre. He'll know what to do next.
Так, что мне тут надо-то? Эмпатия 3. Вообще не надо ее там чем-то таким заручиться. Разговорите о Селе, чтобы она рассказала о своих товарищах. Сель отказалась говорить о друзьях. Может, она станет более общительной, то поможете им открыть... ночной клуб открыть. Новых не хочет разговаривать с вами, вы не на одной волне. Попробуйте помочь ему и его друзьям, чтобы показать, что вы один из них. Кто знает, что он сможет рассказать. И загадка, камон, помогите Рейвам открыть ночной клуб. Ясно, понятно. Ну, я думаю, загадку можно погадать. Вот эту.
Hi again.
Это главное.
How are things going?
Немыслимо 16. Непонятный нозофет. Продали наушники. Суана сказала что-то странное. У меня высокий шанс. Может, дела обстоят не совсем так, как тебе рассказывали. Рассказали, удели минутку анализу ситуации.
Nothing jumps out to you. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Поклясться, здесь что-то не
How about you
сходится.
get out and breathe? The air in the tent is too thick for you to think clearly.
Goodbye, officer.
Да, давайте прям выйду реально. И снова зайду. Раз он такое подсказывает, надо делать.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music and by being a master of ceremonies. Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Я понял, его разум — это лабиринт.
And? What happened? Oh man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Ну вот эти две вместе взятые.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Ну, проведите мирно время вместе с ним. В чем проблема?
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
Да, с этой. На самом деле, хочу говорить о другом.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place. Feel the love! Get down and feel it! You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja oder nein? Rocking it or dropping it?
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world! And she doesn't like it at all!
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Блин, он так активно вопросы подбирает, да, такие хорошие, но сам ничего не предлагает. Ты бы эту энергию направил.
Unity! Dance! And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, Honour Man!
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music. The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Подожди. Слушайте, отвалите от меня. Чё пристали? Вообще не нравится, на самом деле она ее терпеть не может. А она сказала, что вы мне врете. Давайте соврем.
Wonderful! If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Приступить к заданию. Собираюсь выгонять ее оттуда, но могу попытаться уговорить.
Excellent!
Чё? Какое, блин? Может, дела обстоять не совсем так, как тебе Суана сказала. Потребовал у них объяснить после намека Суаны. Давай. Отлично.
Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
Рассказать вам сказку. Андрей, у меня плохие новости. Кое-что не сходится.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Давным-давно, не зная когда и где, но тут явно не обошлось без предательства. Я заболел и превратился в тень, что сейчас перед вами. Но у меня есть основание полагать, что до того, как это случилось, я был детективом полиции. Андрей, у меня плохие новости. Вот и сейчас им являешься. Спасибо на добром слове, но всем и так понятно, что я позорю мундир. Я достаточно неплохо справлялся и дослужился до звания лейтенанта ефрейтора. Мог бы стать капитаном, представляете? Что случилось? Очень серьезно. Диско. Со мной случился не знаю, диско.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast. Shut it. What? I have. I've said that.
Ну что ж, даже если с того момента прошло 1000 лет, во мне еще кое-что осталось от прежнего детектива. Он говорит, что вы врете по поводу ваших планов. Твой ответ был очень неубедительным. Дело ведь не в открытии клуба. Палатка забита лабораторным оборудованием для производства наркотиков. Ты сам говорит, вы врете по поводу ваших планов.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
Даже динамики есть.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Динамик. У них есть один динамик. А где его братишка? Ну что, потерялся? У вас нет наушников. Разве Ассель не нужны наушники, чтобы крутить катушки? Этот нозофет нужен вам ради его действующего вещества. Дистиллированная вода, фундаментальный элемент чистой лаборатории. У вас нет наушников. Я знаю, что вы их заложили, скорее всего, чтобы купить лабораторное оборудование и сырье для наркотиков. Где его братишка? Второй динамик, у вас ведь только один.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
Дистиллированная вода.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
No shit.
No shit, да иди ты. Короче, вы пытались использовать полицейского, чтобы организовать нарколабораторию.
Come on, that's...
Нелепо, незаконно, карается расстрелом на месте.
I meant to say, not true.
Он говорит, вы врете по поводу ваших...
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here.
Мы на миссии.
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Осталось немного. Поступим по закону. Сначала ты мне все расскажешь, а потом я вынесу приговор. Сейчас ты расскажешь мне, что на самом деле происходит, а там решим. Я умею быть снисходительным. Да мне вообще насрать, я просто хотел раскрыть дело. Делайте, что хотите, и я буду делать, что хочу.
What do you mean by lenient?
Для начала тогда я не буду вызывать подкрепление, и вы не окажетесь на скамье подсудимых. Ты что, не слышал? Да я же самый страшный коп на этом берегу. Я использую все свои связи, чтобы сделать вашу жизнь невыносимой. Посмотрим, а теперь рассказывай. Сначала тогда я не буду вызывать подкрепление.
Okay, man. Okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Wethershow.
Because we do! We totally do!
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Я вам зачем, пожалуй, я слышал достаточно. Так, зачем
Like I
я вам?
told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Ну, чувак, это жуткий. Но не такие уж они и жуткие, правда?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
Гоните бабло, сначала обсудить взятку. Собирайтесь тащить свои задницы в 41-й участок, арестовать их. Проваливайте, чтобы я вас больше не... Но я уже обещал вам, что я не буду арестовывать, поэтому пока взятка. Давайте в рамках закона никакой нарколаборатории, только клуб анодной музыки. Продолжим с клубом. Тоже интересный вариант. Без лаборатории ничего не выйдет. Делайте, что считаете нужным, чтобы спасти клуб. Не, давайте в рамках закона.
I knew it.
Спидпанков опускает свою шипастую голову между
It's
колен.
impossible now.
Это невозможно?
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
Причем тут рыба?
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind, a grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Jérôme and all the houses on Main Road. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Goodbye, officer.
Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Here comes the night!
Не разгадал, да?
We're close! True, hard, full, car!
Глубже, сильнее, хардкорнее. А он разные закидывает, или это одно и то же?
Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yeags and args. This produces a guttural, Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from. Judging by his name, could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
You know about him?
Шевелит губами, но из его рта не вылетает ни единого звука.
You know Van Eyck?
Эй, команд, твоя подруга Сэр рассказала о нем. Просто так сказала.
Wow!
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
Ну да, я обманул, конечно.
So am I! So am I!
Oh! Is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Вот почему тебя называют Эй, камон. Потому
Egghead
что...
to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent?
Так, ну и чё, я не разгадал? Что-то там на карте открылось. Решите загаду Эй, камона, блин.
We're close. True, hard, full, car! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man, or maybe it's
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark! Yeah!
he missed one A.
Он одну А пропустил, ты одну А пропустил. На НДА было 6 А. Так что тебе тоже нужно 6. Довольно терпимый коп.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Быть хорошим человеком важнее. Да ё-моё!
We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore! Yeah!
This young, or maybe it
The Y to the yeah!
he missed one.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law.
Да ё-моё!
We're close. True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore. Skibbity, skibbity. We're close. True, hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Here comes the night.
Так, ща.
We're close. True, hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
Не знаешь ли ты? Кто убил наемника, повешенного на дереве позади танцев?
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yakokata, the place to be.
Ты уже говорил, почему это и Якокота, и земля мечты? Что это значит?
It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion, the spirit is what you feel. We're close. True,
блин.
hard, full, car. Hardcore. Yeah!
This young, or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck? Good, good.
The Advent?
Да,
We're
блин.
close. True, hardcore. Yeah!
this young, or maybe it's not Got.
You know about?
You know Van Eyck? Oh, well, it really is him. It's an honest-to-God Van Eyck beat. Well, actually, a reworking of a Peppy Popic and Arsos track. But let's not get too...
The Advent? We're close. True, hard, full, car. Hardcore. Yeah!
This young, or maybe it's not.
The white. Yeah!
He missed one.
Тут оба
A.
неправильно. Ты одну А пропустил, в моем Д было 6 А, так что тебе тоже нужно 6. Я довольно терпимый. Все равно выкидывает. Промолчать. Ну ладно. И тоже не выкидывает. Промолчать. Скажи, пожалуйста, чем ты тут занимаешься? Понятно. Как я сюда попал?
All right. Gotta get the people. I'm the party boy. It's my job. Hardcore part.
There is a place far away in Cutler, beyond a certain latitude, known as Winter's Orbit, where there are 25 hours in a day. It is a tremendously cold place, abandoned to drunks and failed rock stars, full of etonite, depression, and half-finished ski-flying hills. The Suru live there.
Тут когда сжигает 25 часов подряд, 7 дней в неделю по времени зимней орбиты.
We're close.
Энциклопедия мне выдала.
Hardcore doesn't make internally coherent. All car, all right. You gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job. 2 on a track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack. We're close. True. Hardcore doesn't internally coherent. All car.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy
Hardcore! Ah! The question is, what is the question? But there was a question?
Ну, вопрос-то был. Я говорю, нет, серьезно, мне кажется, это не хардкор. Вопроса нет. Вопрос в том, в чем вопрос. Это было бы очень остроумно, если бы я задал тебе вопрос, но я не задавал. Поэтому это просто тупо. Но вопрос-то был, но вопрос был от него. Окей, блин, вот ты жесткий тип. Помолчать.
He furrows his...
Вот, все.
The question is, what is the question? But there was no question.
Но вопроса-то не было. Не, серьезно, мне кажется, это не хардкор.
We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore is internally all car.
He furrowed.
Hard. Is it though?
Это точно хардкор? Он внезапно останавливается и склоняет голову на бок. Минуту назад мне в голову пришло то же самое. Да.
What is it? I mean, really?
Склоняет голову в другую сторону, как какая-нибудь сова. В том, в чем вопрос, и какая мысль мне в голову приходит.
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
Он хмурится, снова прикладывает голову с одного плеча на другое.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal.
Растет боярышник.
Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
У него на пряжке легкие.
Lungs are for love! Love! In a woman's lungs! Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid! This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on, 'cause I've never loved someone like you before!
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck. Feels good. Like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
Ну ладно, окей, мы его одолели, правильно? Где? Где это понедельник? Вот среда. Решите загадку. Окей. Ладно, прощай.
I see you here again. Offside, yeah. Gotta compare. See if we can align. See? Our signs are way off. I can already tell this social relationship is gonna take a lot of work.
Подожди, а на него у меня задания не было? Настройтесь на одну волну с Новиком, но их не хочет разговаривать с вами, вы не на одной волне. Попробуйте помочь им и его друзьям, чтобы показать, что вы один из них. Кто знает, что он сможет рассказать. Окей. Этот просто мне выдает... Блин, он меня вознаградил. Плюс тут он меня закинул.
Hello again.
Эмпатия.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo.
У меня где-нибудь есть еще эмпатия? Томилиом. Куна. У Куна там вообще не пробить. Асель. Асель я уже здесь заблокировал. Витражное окно визуально. Так, а как мне... Это быстрое перемещение. Как это работает? Я пока не знаю, как это работает. Журнал. Как работает быстрое перемещение? Задание. Активно готова карта. Ну что? Блин, открыто какие-то... Блин, как это сделать? Непонятно пока. Ну, непростое управление из-за того, что здесь всего очень дофига. Окей, мы сюда вернемся к этой девчушке. Так, что такое?
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
Насколько никто... меня, Кима.
What? Kim? No, it's you. You think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
Именно, бля, все ради выживания. Я чайка. Погоди, разве когда-нибудь ел бургеры из мусорки?
You have. The body remembers. Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
Блин, да короче, я не могу. Мне надо качать стойкость. Ой, не стойкость, силу воли надо качать стопудово. Просто я воткну одно очко. Просто так, чтобы у меня была 4 хотя бы. А то я тут бегаю, хиляюсь. Там не пройти. Бегаю, хиляюсь, нифига не могу пройти. Так, не то нажал. Как, блин, это сделать? Где эти перемещения? Активно в инвентаре. Может, как-то через F1? F5 уже дошел. Сейчас уже загружают журнал, инвентарь, страница персонажа, мысли, быстрый выбор. Показать активные объекты. Нажмите пробел, чтобы продолжить. Помощь, быстрое сохранение, быстрая загрузка меню. Блин, сделай бы дополнительную. Частота не может быть настолько низкой. Вот здесь вот, чтобы получить дополнительную информацию в диалогах, выбирайте фразы, которые начинаются со слов «минутку» или «погоди». Дополнительную информацию. Окей, в журналах на вкладке «Карта» отображаются все белые проверки, которые вы можете выбрать снова. В журнале на вкладке «Карт» отображаются все белые проверки, которые вы можете выбрать снова. За очки навыков также можно покупать новые ячейки в шкафчике мыслей или забывать старые мысли. Чтобы видеть в темноте, не хватает боевого духа, не хватает здоровья, работа полицейского тяжела, не забывайте отдыхать. Лечь спать после 9, сон полностью установлен. Большинство людей ложится в 9, к 2 засыпают все. Не можете открыть контейнер, поместите в активный инвентарь монтировку. Нужно убить время, купите книгу, когда читаете, время летит. Произносит правильно ревашоль, а ранее классия. Произносите правильно. Достигли лимитов прокачки навыков. Наркотики повышают лимит, но они вредны для здоровья. Испытать удачу с красными проверками можно только один раз. Белые проверки можно будет выбрать снова, улучшив соответствующий навык. У большинства проверок есть секретные модификаторы сложности. Вы можете разблокировать белую проверку, поговорив с определенным человеком. Не хватает денег, поместите в активный инвентарь полиэтиленовый пакет. Собирайте бутылки. Кстати, надо начать собирать, это я вытащил. Тайна от лейтенанта Кицура. Не бойтесь говорить странные вещи. Люди на многое могут закрыть глаза, когда дело касается представителей власти, например, полицейских. Чтобы получить дополнительную информацию в диалогах, выбирайте фразы, которые начинаются со слов. Все, это полностью был. Блин, как мне нафиг это? Очки навыка проверки, действия. Как мне нафиг? Быстрое перемещение как работает. Так. Сломалось. Вот, карта есть. Не через карту. Хижина рыбаков, штанга. Куна. Блин, походу придется бежать. Вопрос, как тут далеко еще? Блин, не, бежим назад. Там сейчас еще каких-то делов наделаем. Не уверен, что я хочу этого. Что я тут, простите меня? О. А тут они тоже не правы, да? Время 5:30. А, подожди, пакет. Инструменты, пакет. Ну и все. Так, это мой. Может, как через него я могу быстро перемещение совершить?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough... An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression
О, побрился,
fixed to your
плюс одна
clean-shaven face.
электрохимия.
You're still not accustomed to it. Still not happening. It won't come off that easy. An old mirror hangs on
это
the...
все зеркало, это что такое?
The bed is comforting. If...
Пока не время отдыхать. Может, на выходе мне предложат? Не предложат. Что как будто рассвет. В принципе, кстати, смотри, не так далеко бежать. Так что бежим, Ким. Так, стоп, yes. Что там? Нет, да ничего. Здесь слышен скрип, это вращается сломанная ось. А, это вот это. На моем автомобиле. Электрический щиток, к которому подключена радиовышка сверху. Может, внутри что-нибудь есть? Пара монет. Может быть, пара монет. Открой. Перчатки можно сдать. А, подожди. С этим, по-моему, проверка была. На эмпатию.
Everything still cool here, officer?
А, на риторику. Миллион. Куна. Витражное окно. Дверь в церковь, грубая сила. Ну, я ее уже открыл. Внушение рискованно, авторитет. Немыслимая техника, сложно. Блин, походу авторитет придется очками качать. А, ну и предметами тоже. Ладно. Так, здесь будет эмпатия у нас.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Cool, cool. We all want to know each other's woes and all. But people, man, they have slippery souls.
Just like that, he slips out of your reach.
И Куна, да? Ну, Куна это вообще нереально. Ну, давай. Мне сначала надо это. Вот выпить сынок из алкоголя, он нас сделает друзьями. Оцени, какую лютую дичь я нашел. Показать ему пиролидон. Посмолим. Протянуть пачку сигарет. Пусть покажется, но может кому-то из твоих знакомых.
Kuno doesn't fucking read. Fucking book shit. Fucks with your mind. Kuno knows this four-eyed fuck. Totally hooked on the book. Can't get enough of this shit. Fucking sad, really. Kuno could make mad money off him. Exploit his disease.
Заработать на его тяге.
Who are you talking about, Kuno? A guy Kuno knows. Martin. From out of town. From Grad or some shit.
This boy of 12 does not know anyone from Grad, sire. We suspect the boy himself might be this mystery Martin.
Fine. Kuno's gonna take it off your fat ass. At least he's gonna make some paper off this shit. Now what you want?
Есть спиды. С маньяной про броню. Мясинку тебя подавил. Ну давай сразу крутанем эмпатию. Или... У тебя есть спиды?
Fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Kuno's a kingpin. Don't be yanking your shit in front.
Belying the act, he's actually telling the truth. He's got to at least know a source. Look at him. You need to figure this out somehow.
Fucking right. Fuck no, pig.
He's not worried about belying the act. He's actually telling the truth. He's got to at least know a source. Look at him.
Ясно, пока не подружимся с ним, он, да, не говорит. Давай крутанем.
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, thrown around.
Get your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. Kuno pushes it hard level.
Блин, Куно прикольный тип.
You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it out of you.
You okay, Kuno?
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Потом с ним случился небольшой припадок. Так, ну ладно, это все недоступно. Что за маньян? А, маньян, все это, который на перилах сидит. Поднимает брови, всем своим видом выражая безразличие. Он сказал, что ты обещал спуститься на него мусоров. Поблагодарить ему совсем не хотелось гоняться за этой броней.
North Jamrock. Kuno meant everything north of 881. The rooster fucked Kuno's words up. Kuno doesn't do south. Doesn't fuck with the madre.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Можем оставить в прошлом.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. Don't be saying what Kuno said back to Kuno. Get the fuck out of here, Patterson Kuno.
Типа вали отсюда, он сказал.
After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
The fuck do you want with good call?
Не, ну тут все, окей. Там договорили, тут договорили, все. До свидания. Тут что, вот эта фигня горит до сих пор. А, проверка пройдена. У меня на карте есть и повешка, коробка с солнечно-защитными очками, витражное окно. А, где эта фигня вообще? Зеркало на Арну. Это все заблокировано. Эмпатия Куна, Томиллион, да, 2 заблокированы. Самообладание техника, это что такое? Окно кафетерия, карта на стене. Карта на стене, которую я уже эту купил. Титхарти, Льен, рыбачка, внушение. А, и можно попытаться внушить, но это рискованно. Дверь в церковь, я его открыл. А, подожди, может я ее уже внушил. Витражное окно. Тоже вроде можно ее пройти. Внутренняя империя повешенная. Да тут ничего интересного. Эй, мадам. Давай еще здесь бахнем.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweeper still hasn't noticed.
Yes, it is. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
Ну окей, да, хоть мы ему рассказали, передали информацию. Так, там что? Там мы можем сейчас распечатку нажать. Давай нажмем. Что тут черный этот ключ? Подожди! Да ты гонишь! Тут целая ниша нафиг. Окно в подвале. Из окна видны ноги прохожих. Все, больше никуда не пройти.
Only the red cable. Somewhere.
Здесь что-то включилось, окей. Так, холодильник пустой, так понимаю?
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside. Tiles on the cube are still smoke. Nothing happened. Something's missing. Like a smooth draw. The speaker.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat. Good.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Поссались.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you. And
Tiles on the cube are with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished. 400,000 Riyal? Yo. These guys knew how to party.
Ё-моё. Может, у них такие деньги.
Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Ghanaian investor. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate, a rate that could only be amended by Pyrrolidon. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skip to work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million Riyal game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, you couldn't have. Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Suliswaf Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here. but it may take a while.
Ох, ёжик. У-у-у. Продолжай. Ой. Это был... Ой, а продолжай. Это даже что было бы? Да ладно, хватит. Не наказывают. Ну или
The
поощряют.
lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest.
Нет, не сложно.
He's dying for a cigarette. Come to think of it, you are too.
А-а-а. Что я наделал? Да остановите. Я просто не хочу нажимать продолжай.
What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop?
На этом
And
все.
that's it. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss.
А, критическая потеря данных. Вот о которой она говорит. Это аномалия, которую упоминал в журнале. Что-что?
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Egonian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day.
Я сейчас не понял ни слова.
When the project was returned, it was completely blank.
Когда проект вернулся после расчета, он был абсолютно пустым.
The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Даже у них реально не было копии.
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the offsite copy happened to be onsite when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the offsite copy and, well, keep it offsite. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached.
Так, программист нес ответственность за руководство еженедельным техническим обслуживанием внешней копии и за то, чтобы она оставалась внешней. Объяснительная записка ведущего программиста прилагается, и что в ней говорится.
S. Lukanen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The offsite copy was onsite because there was no offsite anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice-bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Чего? У меня больше не было дома, так что я начала хранить внешнюю память в подвале в холодильнике в виде медведя. Она ее заморозила. Это было совершенно безопасно, оптимальные, в кавычках, температурные условия. Звучит не очень убедительно, да? Объяснение выглядит вполне убедительным. Есть еще что-нибудь от ведущего программиста? Звучит не очень убедительно.
Her former colleagues would agree with you.
Ага, коллеги бы со мной согласились.
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. "4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it."
С Мартинезом, да и в общем.
Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error, on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Я не забрал куб.
Tiles on the cube are the filament slides out of it.
И гард можно забежать, да? Бежим. Можно к этой забежать, да? Ну-ка, давайте забегу, пока она рядом.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
Почему ее предприятие осталось? Подожди, что там хорошо?
Oh, it's you again.
Заказать у вас игральную кость.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
И проклятая игральная кость. Расскажите мне о самой необычной. На самом деле я не знаю, какая игральная кость мне нужна. Мне нужна обычная игральная кость, очень обычная. Вы как думаете, какая игральная кость подойдет моей личности? На самом деле мне нужно еще подумать. Откуда она знает про мою личность? Что за вопрос вообще? Так, извините, на самом деле я не знаю.
How about an amber dye?
Янтарный. Янтарь, золото, бедняков. Янтарь скучный.
Who told you amber was cheap? It's beautiful, really, and has been treasured since the ancient times. For 7 real, I'll craft you a 13-sided die from piece of amber with a fossilized insect. It's perfect for those who can't seem to let go of their past.
Проститься с прошлым.
I had a feeling. Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
Через 8 часов. Что-то записывает. Я могу еще что-нибудь помочь? Нет. Но я думаю, эта кость мне когда-нибудь пригодится. Может быть, не знаю. Может, каким-то амулетом моим станет. Например, я ее в руку буду вставлять. Посмотрим, в общем. В общем, мне, короче, интересно. А бабка у меня теперь есть. Пойдем как раз с моим предыдущим арендатором попрощаемся. Дадим ему птичку. Невеличку. Так что-то там, блин.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Нет. Ну, может, она как-то связана. Так, а ты что? Никогда с тобой вообще не поговорить? Вы были правы, я как аду.
The woman before.
Даже хочу вот это. Выдержка требуется даже для того, чтобы просто прочесть имя автора. Ян Каус.
Excuse me?
Прочитал книжку, как вы мне советовали, и даже решил, какой я какаду хотите узнать.
I don't know. The most talkative one? The what now? You truly are one strange cop, aren't you?
The woman before you nods and returns to...
С этой вообще ничего не получается. В этот раз... Ну, он мужик сидит, мужик. Снег идет, иди домой. Никаких мыслей не приходит, никаких не приходит мыслей. Ну окей, видать, там должны какие-то совпасть. А, тут еще мои эти сидят теперь. Народ тут дофига теперь. Про вас двоих я вообще забыл. Ну, только шо вспомнил.
Can I help you?
Нашел в танце новую птицу. Дать ему чучело рябчика.
What is this thing?
Мужчина забирает чучело. Пустяк, просто подумал, что рябчик будет тут хорошо смотреться. Такой уж я коп. Хотел извиниться за то, что сломал большого поморника, и вот принес тебе чучело рябчика.
Okay. Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
Спасибо, наверное, скажу спасибо.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
Ну да, бегаю до
I feel
фига.
good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Окей, ребята, а вы что скажете по поводу чучела и сегодняшнего дня? По-моему, тоже неплохо потрудились. Неплохо поразведывали нашу карту. Где она, кстати? Где-то половину мы прошли, вот до церквушки. Осталось... А, вот здесь расстрел был. Блин, тогда это хижина рыбаков. Где это яйцо, блин? Что за яйцо такое? Что за яйцо? Это... Вот расстрел. Вот здесь мы с парнем общались, и его отцом. Ну, скорее, отцом. И чуть-чуть парнем. Церковь тут чуть-чуть всего не добежали. Окей, почти всю карту обошли. Напишите, что думаете вообще по такой серии. Прожмите лайки. Все, всем хорошего настроения. Скоро будет продолжение. Скоро увидимся. Пока.